Yo, what's good, everybody? We back with another video, and today I want to talk about something because it's been a long time. It was in 2023 since the last season that just came out, but I wanted to talk about Tokyo Revengers because I just finished it's really season 3, but the second half of season 2. I watched the first half, not the second half. But this is the big duel where, Kizaki finally meets his end. All right, Tokyo Revengers is not over, but Kizaki, the main antagonist of Tokyo Revengers, did, pass away. But I want to talk about something because oh no, why the fuck? Oh man, he was such a good villain. Oh man, and the way that they did him at the end is just no. Oh, I'm so disappointed with Tokyo Revengers and the author for what they did, because they made a good, compelling evil nigga, and they just shit it all over his head. It's like, fuck, man. If you don't know, once again, Kizaki is the main antagonist of Tokyo Revengers and the main arch nemesis of Takemichi, where these two are the parallels of each other, where, Takemichi is a part of he's part of the gang, but he's not really a fighter. He's a soft, outspoken crybaby. And Kizaki, he is the manipulator of the gang, where they were in the same gang, but he was like the manipulator and the brains of most of the operations that was going on, but he wasn't a fighter either. But the correlation between these two is that every time in the future, Kizaki ends up killing Hina. So Takemichi and Hina's brother, they got a connection to where they can send Takemichi to the past. So they go to the past to try to stop Kizaki from doing what he's doing. Kizaki has always been the main key, but Kizaki was a fantastic fucking villain for a long time. And mind you, these are young niggas doing this, bruh. Kizaki was behind the scenes manipulating and taking operations from a lot of niggas, a lot of the gang leaders that he was manipulating, to where at the end, he created this big crime empire, the biggest crime empire in Tokyo itself. All right, but at the end, we figure out what his actual motivation is and why he's doing what he's doing. When he has the final meeting with Takemichi at the parking lot where he killed Hina, and it's like, and mind you, this nigga is doing all type of devious fucking shit. All right, but I'm gonna go through some of the devious shit he was doing to why this shit to me is so fucking ridiculous. All right, so we get to the end of the season to where Takemichi and Kizaki have their final face off. Takemichi grabs Kizaki and sees a glimpse of Kizaki's future. And then he asks him, like, there's one thing I always was wondering, why every time I go back to the future, Hina is the one you kill every single fucking time. All right, even when the timeline is changed, you still end up continuously killing Hina. And then he takes a glimpse of this nigga's future, and then as I seen this, I said, oh no, please no, oh no, don't do this. Do not do this to Kizaki, bro. Do not do this to fucking Kizaki. They showed the first glimpse of Kizaki and Hina having a conversation. Then after that, they showed the other scene where Kizaki is trying to give Hina a fucking proposal ring. And I said, no, 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 don't do this. Don't fucking do this, bruh. Do not do this to Kizaki. So you're telling me this nigga has been manipulating Mikey this whole entire time, where he manipulated Mikey so bad to where he had to fuse gangs with all the other gangs in Tokyo, and to where he had driven himself, did Mikey driven himself to kill himself because he had lost so much. You telling me you got Draken stabbed in one timeline and killed, and then in another timeline, you had him placed in prison. And then, bruh, you got Baji killed by helping the nigga that killed Mikey's brother. And then after, bruh, this nigga killed 2 of Mikey's siblings, bruh. This nigga was just catching bodies left and right. He killed 2 of Mikey's siblings. One is not really his sibling, but it's his fucking sibling. He shot fucking one of them 3 times. And then the other one, he did so goddamn dirty. Oh, it was ridiculous. He did her so damn dirty. It was crazy. Emma? It's Emma or Emma, bruh? Bruh, he did a whole drill on her, bruh. He did a whole fucking drill on her, bruh. He rolled on his motorcycle with a baseball bat, cracked her skull, knocked her the fuck out, and killed her in the street while they were mourning their dead brother on the day of his passing. All because and bro, this backstory got worse. All because he, in elementary school, thought Hina liked him because he was the smartest person in the class, and he ended up catching feelings with her back. And then he sees Takamichi dressed up in a cape, stopping bullies from harassing people, and seeing Hina fall in love with that, to where he ended up following Takamichi as a child, and then finding out Takamichi's fucking goal or his dream was to become the biggest delinquent in Tokyo. And then he said, that's the dream I'm gonna be. So it's not even being in a gang wasn't even his motivation. It was not even his motivation, bruh. It was something he stole from Takamichi. To where now his goal is to become the biggest delinquent in Tokyo, to where he can manipulate the scenes, manipulate Mikey, and control the criminal underworld with his own hands, so all he can get is to marry Hina. So like I told you, he did all this devious shit. He killed Baji. He got Baji killed. He killed 2 of Mikey's siblings. In one timeline, he killed Draken. He started wars. He started multiple gang wars throughout Tokyo for selfish reasons. And at the end, he becomes the biggest criminal empire. He becomes the biggest leader, or one of the biggest leaders of the biggest criminal empire in Tokyo. He kills Hina's brother and shoots Takamichi, all because he wanted to propose to Hina. Do you sound how fucking ridiculous this shit is? How far-fetched and ridiculous this shit is. Why do this? And then every single timeline, Hina rejects his proposal. So after that, he kills her every single time. Why do this? Why? And then it gets worse. Because they reveal, like I said, they revealed he doing this because Takemichi wanted to be the biggest delinquent in Tokyo. So he ended up going and joining Mikey so he could try to manipulate Mikey, because Mikey is like one of the strongest people in the Tokyo gangs, and he felt like he was easy to manipulate. So he's doing all this shit to try to get the girl, but he's only doing this because this was Takemichi's goal, and he reveals that he looked up to Takemichi and he wanted to be like Takemichi this whole time. I'm like, no! Why do this, bruh? He was better when he had his own reasons for doing shit. When he had his own reasons for doing stuff. When he had his own reasons for trying to manipulate the scenes to try to take over certain gangs and be the head of a gang. When he was doing that, if it would have been just that period without any other reason, without it, him killing Hina could have just been him just doing that shit just to do that shit, or just doing that just to get revenge on Takemichi. But this whole reveal fucked his character up way too much, to where it got so goddamn ridiculous to hear this shit and actually believe it. And mind you, this is the anime. Bruh, man, why do this, bruh? He was so much interesting when he had his own ideals and his own goal, bruh. Instead of hanging off of what Takemichi said as a fucking elementary school kid, bruh. That was just a niche dream that he wasn't even really trying to fulfill at the end of the day. But he doing all this shit just for the girl. And then at his end, his end I don't have a problem with. Him getting hit by the bus and dying, I don't have a problem with. I think that's actually great, because he's doing all this scheming. He's doing all this scheming. He's doing all this stuff behind the scenes. He's trying to control the narrative and control the plot of the gangs in Tokyo, to where he's still a fragile human and he get killed in the most easiest fucking way possible by getting hit by a truck. But them making him a Hina lover boy to do this shit makes him look like a whiny, petty little bitch, bro. Which, no, because he was actually good. The shit from Tokyo Revengers 1 and 2, the beginning of 2, was great shit that he was doing. Why fuck him up so badly? Like, why? I want to just know why. If anybody got answer in the comments, please let me know. Please like and subscribe, and peace. I'm out.